Hello and welcome. Let's start with a question that deserves your full attention. Are you aware that some of your simplest daily habits, things you do without a second thought, could be silently impacting one of the most critical aspects of your health as a man? For countless men over 60, the prostate gland, a small but vital part of the body, becomes a source of significant concern. It's an issue often discussed in hushed tones or ignored entirely, at least until the symptoms become too disruptive to overlook. We're talking about those frequent trips to the bathroom that interrupt your sleep, a sense of urgency that dictates your schedule, or a frustrating feeling that things just aren't working the way they used to. These aren't just minor annoyances, they are signals from your body. Many men endure these discomforts, believing they are an inevitable part of aging. They accept a diminished quality of life, facing challenges that could have been significantly reduced or even avoided with the right knowledge. But it doesn't have to be this way. This isn't about complex medical procedures or miracle cures. This is about empowerment through understanding. It's about recognizing that you hold a remarkable amount of control over your own well-being. The path to better prostate health is paved with small, deliberate choices you make every single day. In this guide, we will walk through 7 specific, common habits that you must avoid to protect and support your prostate. This information is designed to be clear, practical, and most importantly, actionable. By the end of our time together, you won't just be more aware of the risks, you'll be equipped with the knowledge to actively safeguard your health, preserving your vitality and independence for years to come. Stay with me on this journey. The knowledge we're about to cover is more than just information. It's a tool that could make a profound and positive difference in the quality of your life, starting today. Let's begin with our first habit, one that is deeply ingrained in social and personal routines for many: excessive alcohol consumption. While a drink now and then is a common part of life, understanding how alcohol interacts with your body, especially as you get older, is fundamental to protecting your prostate. Alcohol has a twofold effect on your urinary system that can directly aggravate prostate-related issues. First, it acts as a diuretic. In simple terms, it signals your kidneys to flush out more water than they normally would, rapidly increasing the amount of urine your bladder has to hold. For a man whose urinary flow may already be compromised by an enlarged prostate, this sudden increase in volume creates unnecessary pressure and strain on the entire system. Second, and perhaps more importantly, alcohol is an irritant. It can cause inflammation in the sensitive tissues of your body, and the lining of your bladder and prostate are no exception. If your prostate is already enlarged or inflamed, consuming alcohol is like adding fuel to a smoldering fire. It can intensify the underlying inflammation, making existing symptoms feel significantly worse. The consequences of this are often felt as a disruptive cycle. The diuretic effect leads to more frequent trips to the bathroom, while the irritation creates a persistent, nagging sense of urgency. This combination is particularly taxing at night, leading to what's known as nocturia, the need to wake up repeatedly to urinate, which fragments your sleep and impacts your energy and well-being the next day. The smarter alternative here isn't necessarily total abstinence, but mindful moderation. Pay close attention to how your body responds. Consider reducing your intake, especially in the hours before bedtime. When you do choose to have a drink, ensure you are also drinking plenty of water to stay hydrated and help dilute the concentration of irritants in your urine. By replacing even a few alcoholic beverages each week with water or non-caffeinated herbal teas, you aren't just avoiding a negative habit, you are making a direct and powerful investment in more restful nights and more comfortable days. Next on our list is a habit that for millions is the very cornerstone of their morning routine: the overconsumption of caffeine. Found in coffee, black tea, many sodas, and energy drinks, caffeine is a powerful stimulant that helps us feel alert and focused. However, for men over 60, particularly those with existing prostate concerns, this daily ritual can come at a hidden cost. Much like alcohol, caffeine is a known bladder irritant. It can make the smooth muscle in the bladder wall more sensitive and prone to spasms, which translates into a more frequent and often sudden, intense urge to urinate. It also functions as a mild diuretic, encouraging your body to produce more urine than it otherwise would. For a man dealing with an enlarged prostate, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH, this combination is particularly troublesome. An enlarged prostate can already obstruct the flow of urine, and when you add an irritated bladder and increased urine production to the mix, it can amplify the sensation of urinary urgency and contribute to the frustrating feeling of incomplete bladder emptying. The result is a urinary system that feels constantly on high alert. This can lead to a cycle of discomfort and anxiety, where you find yourself mapping out the location of restrooms wherever you go, or avoiding long drives and social events for fear of being caught without one. It's a subtle erosion of freedom that can significantly impact your daily life. The solution, however, isn't necessarily about giving up your warm morning beverage. It's about being strategic. If you suspect caffeine is contributing to your symptoms, try reducing your intake or switching to a high-quality decaffeinated coffee, which provides the flavor and ritual without the irritation. Consider exploring herbal teas like chamomile or mint. These are not only free of caffeine, but can also be hydrating and have calming properties, offering a welcome bonus. This simple switch is a powerful act of self-care, allowing you to take back control from the constant interruptions and feel more at ease throughout your day. Habit number 3 is one of the single most damaging actions you can take for your overall health, and your prostate is certainly no exception: maintaining a smoking habit. While many are aware of its devastating effects on the lungs and heart, the far-reaching harm it inflicts on the entire body, including the male urinary system, is often underestimated. Smoking fundamentally compromises your body's most essential delivery service, the circulatory system. The nicotine and other chemicals in cigarettes cause vasoconstriction, which means they narrow the blood vessels throughout your body. Think of these vessels as the highways that deliver oxygen and vital nutrients to every single organ, including your prostate. When these pathways are constricted, the prostate is starved of what it needs to function correctly, repair cellular damage, and maintain a healthy state. This chronic lack of adequate blood flow can contribute to inflammation and may exacerbate the symptoms of BPH. Furthermore, every cigarette delivers a direct infusion of a toxic cocktail of carcinogens, cancer-causing chemicals, into your bloodstream. These toxins travel everywhere, damaging DNA and promoting the kind of cellular mutations that can lead to malignant growths. The consequences of this are profound. Beyond worsening the symptoms of an already enlarged prostate, smoking is directly linked to a higher risk of developing aggressive forms of prostate cancer. It is a dangerous gamble with your long-term health, undermining your body's natural defenses and creating an internal environment where disease can more easily take hold. The single most powerful alternative is to make the decision to quit. The human body possesses a remarkable capacity for healing. From the moment you stop smoking, your circulation begins to improve, the level of carbon monoxide in your blood drops, and your system starts the long but rewarding process of purging these harmful toxins. This is not a journey you have to take alone. Numerous effective resources, from counseling and support groups to medically approved therapies, are available to help you succeed. Choosing to quit is the ultimate act of taking control, a decision that benefits not just your prostate, but every organ in your body. Let's move on to habit number 4, which takes place in the kitchen and on your dinner plate, consuming a diet high in unhealthy fats and ultra-processed foods. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the habit of relying on convenient, prepackaged meals, fast food, and red meats. But the long-term cost of this convenience is a significant burden on your body's health, with a direct and measurable impact on your prostate. At its core, the problem with this type of diet is that it promotes a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your body. Foods high in saturated fats, particularly those from red and processed meats, and meals loaded with refined sugars and artificial ingredients trigger an inflammatory response from your immune system. Inflammation is a natural process, but when it becomes constant, it acts like a persistent, smoldering fire that damages healthy cells and creates an environment where diseases, including prostate issues like BPH and even prostate cancer, can thrive. This kind of diet is also closely linked to hormonal imbalances. Research has shown that diets high in animal fats can lead to increased levels of certain hormones that may fuel the growth of prostate cells, contributing to both benign enlargement and the progression of more serious conditions. The consequences extend beyond the prostate. This eating pattern is a primary driver of obesity, which is itself a major independent risk factor for a host of health problems, including an increased risk of developing aggressive prostate cancer. It contributes to a cycle where weight gain and inflammation reinforce each other, steadily eroding your overall health. The smarter alternative is to consciously shift your plate toward a diet that actively fights inflammation. Champion a way of eating that is rich and whole, natural foods. Prioritize fruits and vegetables of all colors, which are packed with antioxidants that neutralize cellular damage. Incorporate healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Choose lean proteins like fish, which is high in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, and poultry. And make a special place in your diet for foods rich in a powerful antioxidant called lycopene, found in abundance in cooked tomatoes, tomato sauce, watermelon, and pink grapefruit. Lycopene has been extensively studied for its prostate protective properties. This isn't about dieting in the traditional sense. It's about nourishing your body with the building blocks it needs to defend itself, reduce inflammation, and function at its best. Habit number 5 is one of the most common and deceptive threats to modern health: living a sedentary life. For many, a typical day involves long periods of sitting at a desk, in a car, or on the couch in the evening. While this may seem harmless, this chronic lack of movement has a direct and detrimental effect on your pelvic region, creating an internal environment that is far from optimal for prostate health. The primary issue with a sedentary lifestyle is its impact on circulation. When you remain seated for extended periods, blood flow to the pelvic area, which includes the prostate, becomes sluggish and compromised. Good circulation is essential for delivering oxygen-rich blood and vital nutrients to the tissues, and it's equally important for carrying away metabolic waste products. When this process is impaired, it can lead to a buildup of toxins and contribute to a state of chronic inflammation in the prostate gland. This poor circulation can directly exacerbate the symptoms of benign prostatic hyperplasia. An inflamed prostate is more likely to be swollen and can put even more pressure on the urethra, leading to increased difficulty with urination, a weaker stream, and a greater sense of incomplete bladder emptying. Furthermore, a sedentary lifestyle is a primary contributor to weight gain and obesity. As we've discussed, carrying excess weight, particularly around the abdomen, is a significant risk factor for prostate problems. It is linked to hormonal changes and increased inflammation, creating a feedback loop where inactivity leads to weight gain, which in turn worsens the very symptoms that might make you feel less inclined to be active. The most effective alternative is to consciously and consistently integrate movement into your daily routine. This does not mean you need to start training for a marathon. The key is gentle, regular activity. Aim to stand up, stretch, and walk around for a few minutes every hour if you have a desk job. Incorporate a brisk 30-minute walk into your day. This simple act can dramatically improve pelvic circulation. Activities like swimming are excellent as they are low impact on the joints while providing a full body workout. Even simple stretching exercises can help to relieve pelvic muscle tension and improve blood flow. Remember, consistency is far more important than intensity. By making a commitment to move your body every day, you are actively flushing the pelvic region with healthy, oxygenated blood and taking a powerful step toward reducing inflammation and supporting long-term prostate health. And this critical issue of compromised blood flow in the pelvic region doesn't just affect the prostate. For millions of men, it is the primary reason they also struggle with their performance and confidence in the bedroom. A lack of strong, healthy circulation is one of the key underlying causes of the issues that can erode a man's vitality. Because this topic is so closely related and incredibly important, I want to briefly mention a powerful discovery that has been helping tens of thousands of men restore that youthful vigor. It's for those who are looking for a way to regain rock-solid performance, naturally and without risky alternatives. If this is a concern for you, I strongly encourage you to watch a short, eye-opening video that explains a remarkably simple, 100% natural home remedy. It takes only 7 seconds a day and is designed to address the real root cause of male performance problems. To watch it now, simply open the camera app on your phone and point it at the QR code you see on your screen. A link will appear for you to tap. If you prefer, you can also find a direct link pinned at the very top of the comments section below this video. This could be the most important information you see all year. Now, let's continue with our 6th habit, which is just as critical for your urinary health and overall comfort. Habit number 6 is an incredibly common oversight, yet it has a profound impact on your entire urinary system: inadequate hydration. Many men, in an effort to reduce their trips to the bathroom, intentionally limit their fluid intake. While this logic may seem sound on the surface, it is a counterproductive strategy that can actually make prostate-related symptoms worse and create new problems. When you don't drink enough water throughout the day, your body, in its effort to conserve fluid, produces urine that is highly concentrated. This concentrated urine is darker in color and contains a higher density of waste products, such as urea and other metabolic byproducts. This liquid is far more acidic and irritating to the sensitive lining of your bladder. For a system that may already be inflamed or sensitive due to an enlarged prostate, bathing these tissues in concentrated, irritating urine is like pouring salt on a wound. It can trigger bladder spasms, leading to a more intense and frequent urge to urinate, thereby defeating the very purpose of drinking less. Furthermore, this state of chronic dehydration creates a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. A well-hydrated urinary tract is constantly being flushed, which helps to prevent bacteria from gaining a foothold and multiplying. When the flow of urine is sluggish and concentrated, the risk of developing painful and potentially serious urinary tract infections, or UTIs, increases significantly. A UTI can cause symptoms that mimic or severely worsen those of BPH, including a burning sensation, constant urgency, and pelvic pain. The most effective alternative is to adopt a habit of consistent, mindful hydration. The goal is not to flood your system with large amounts of water at once, but to sip water steadily throughout the day. Keep a water bottle handy and take small drinks frequently. This approach keeps you well hydrated and ensures your urine remains diluted and less irritating, without overwhelming your bladder at any one time. It is also wise to taper your fluid intake in the evening, reducing the amount you drink in the 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. This simple, balanced strategy of staying hydrated during the day while being cautious at night is one of the most effective ways to soothe your urinary system, reduce the risk of infection, and support the overall health of your prostate. We now arrive at our 7th and final habit, and it is arguably the most critical of all: ignoring your body's warning signals and skipping regular medical checkups. In a culture that often encourages men to tough it out, it can be tempting to dismiss subtle changes in your health as just a normal part of getting older. A slightly weaker urinary stream, a bit of dribbling after you finish, or a vague, dull ache in the pelvic area can be easy to brush aside. But this is a dangerous gamble. Your body communicates with you through these symptoms. They are its way of telling you that something has changed and needs attention. Ignoring them is like ignoring the check engine light on your car's dashboard. You might be able to keep driving for a while, but you are risking a far more serious breakdown down the road. These symptoms could be indicative of a relatively manageable condition like BPH, but they can also be the earliest signs of more serious issues, including prostatitis or, in some cases, prostate cancer. The consequences of inaction can be severe. Delaying a diagnosis means delaying treatment. For conditions like prostate cancer, the difference between catching it in its early, localized stages and discovering it after it has spread can be the difference between a highly treatable condition and a far more challenging, life-altering fight. Procrastination in matters of health is never a winning strategy. It only serves to narrow your options and potentially lead to more invasive treatments and less favorable outcomes. The most powerful alternative is to become an active and engaged partner in your own healthcare. This means 2 things. First, learn to listen to your body. Pay attention to changes, no matter how small they seem, and don't be afraid to take them seriously. Second, establish a routine of regular consultations with a healthcare provider. These checkups are not just for when you are sick, they're a cornerstone of preventive medicine. They provide an opportunity to discuss your health, track changes over time, and undergo recommended screenings, such as a PSA blood test or a digital rectal exam. Early detection is the single most powerful weapon we have in the fight against serious prostate disease. By making the choice to be proactive, you are not showing weakness. You are demonstrating the ultimate form of strength and responsibility for yourself and for the people who care about you. We have now walked through 7 distinct habits, from what you drink and eat to how you move and how you engage with your own health. As we bring our discussion to a close, it's essential to see these points not as a list of restrictions, but as a series of empowering choices. This isn't about what you're losing. It's about what you stand to gain: control, comfort, and a higher quality of life. The power to protect your prostate is not found in a single pill or procedure, but in the sum of these small, intelligent decisions you make every single day. It's also crucial to understand the bigger picture. Your prostate health does not exist in a vacuum. It is deeply and intricately connected to your overall well-being. The very same habits that support a healthy prostate, a nutritious diet, regular exercise, proper hydration, and avoiding toxins, are the exact same habits that support a healthy heart, a stable metabolism, and even a sharper mind. When you make the choice to walk every day, you are not just improving pelvic circulation, you are strengthening your cardiovascular system. When you choose to fill your plate with vibrant vegetables and healthy fats, you are not just fighting prostate inflammation, you are nourishing your entire body at a cellular level. A man who feels physically well, who is not burdened by constant discomfort or the anxiety of urinary issues, is a man who is more likely to be present, engaged, and joyful in his life. He has the freedom to travel, to enjoy his hobbies, and to be there for his family and friends without the constant, nagging distraction of poor health. So let this not be a message of fear, but a call to action fueled by optimism. This is about actively choosing a future filled with vitality, freedom, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are doing everything in your power to care for your body. The journey to better health is a marathon, not a sprint, and it begins with a single, conscious step. Choose one habit from our list and begin there. The positive changes you feel will inspire you to take the next step, and the next. Thank you for investing this time in yourself and in your health. If you found this information valuable, please consider sharing it with the men in your life, your friends, your brothers, your fathers. Knowledge is a gift, and by passing it on, you can make a real difference. Here's to your health, and until next time, take care.